Hi, everybody. Welcome to Valley Views, what you see and what you hear in the Coachella Valley. You know, it has been the fastest moving 2016 as in ever, at least for me. I cannot believe that we are halfway through it. Want to tell you that one of the greatest Christmas gifts that we're still enjoying was from Brandini Toffee. And very, very, very long ago, because Valley Views is in its 22nd year, long time ago, they were just starting. In fact, they were in high school and they were trying to make money to go to Europe. And so we're going to invite them back. This toffee has been so good, we think if we invite them back, they'll bring more because it's almost gone. Anyway, you'll be getting our call, Brandini. We have had so many great things happen, and things that, because we got right into Palm Springs Women in Film and Television, we didn't get to mention our fabulous month in New York City. But I want to thank each and every one of you who have made some wonderful comment about Carson and his beautiful bride, Siri. And that was a surprise wedding to beat all weddings. Just, I'd tell you about it, but I'd cry. We have on our show today some incredible people that you've seen before, because we do not miss a chance to have Selby Dunham right here to talk about BAM or anything she wants to talk about. And today she has Debbie Artoon, and I said her name right, yay, yay, yay. And we're so happy to have Tony Ackerman. They're both on the executive board, and we're going to talk at length about several things that they're doing, and what they do in the community is beyond awesome, big time. Then we're going to turn our attention to Ritzy Rover and Michael Masters, who takes such good care of my Cassie, who's 15 now, and we're going to talk about what happens when our pets start to age, and we're going to give a little love to those fabulous dogs and cats that are so much a part of our families. Hope you can sit back, relax, enjoy Valley Views, and we will be right back.
When you buy a Lexus from Desert Lexus? Peace of mind. Peace of mind knowing Desert Lexus has a large inventory of new and certified pre-owned Lexus vehicles for you to choose from, and a service department conveniently open Saturdays, offering a fleet of complimentary service loaners to keep you on schedule. For over 25 years, Desert Lexus has been giving their customers peace of mind. Desert Lexus, located at the Cathedral City Auto Center, or online at desertlexus.com.
Spotlight 29 Casino presents the 70s Time Machine Tour, Saturday, February 20th at 8 p.m., featuring Mark Farner from Grand Funk Railroad and Chuck Negron from Three Dog Night. The 70s Time Machine Tour, live, Saturday, February 20th at 8 p.m. Only at Spotlight 29 Casino, the Valley's best bet.
Bighorn BAM founder is Selby Dunham to my right. Hi, Selby.
Hi, Patty.
So happy to see you.
Thank you.
It's like I always look at her and think, how come we don't have lunch?
Well, I don't know. We talk about it. We talk about it. We just need to do it.
That's the truth. And Tony Ackerman, and you're on the executive board.
Yes.
And our fabulous Debbie Artoon, we will miss today because there was a mix-up in dates. Do you want to give a little history? Because I know all of it, and I know a lot of you do as well, but it's wonderful to hear all over again.
Well, it's we're in our 9th year, if you can believe it or not.
Yeah.
I know. And so we raise funds for breast cancer treatment, diagnosis, patient services. We hand everything we do, and every penny we raise stays right here in the Valley.
Love that.
And it all started up at Bighorn with a ladies' golf tournament. And who knew that it was going to explode and become such a community involved charity.
So successful.
Yeah, and it's been wonderful. We've had already this year we had Miracle on El Paseo, which was it's on the Saturday before Thanksgiving, the lighting of the tree, and all the great fun and Christmas hoopla, and it was just really fun for the kids and adults alike, and that benefits BAM. And then we're going to move right into a Game Day for Life, and that is on February 8th, and that's at the
Is it the 8th?
The 7th?
Sorry, I better not
I
interrupt
know,
you
it's
there.
okay.
Sorry.
Whatever that Monday is.
Yeah, Monday.
Monday. I think
it's the 8th.
I think
the
it's the
8th. I'm
8th.
so sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
At Miramonte?
At Miramonte, and it's $150, and it's a game day, meaning cards, like mahjong, whatever you want to play. You have your foursomes. It's kind of like, or fivesomes, I guess they play cards. I'm not a big card player, but I participate.
What do you play?
I play hand foot, and I play it once a year.
Maybe I could play that one.
Yeah.
It's fun, and I play it once a year, so I need a kind of a fresher upper. But Susan Goldfein,
Oh, I love her.
she's running it, and Diane Gershowitz, who is
yeah.
yes, and so she's our honorary chair, and they put together a fabulous event this year. So it's lunch, boutique shopping, and playing cards, or your game of choice.
What
Fun,
a great
fun.
day for any
Yep.
and every lady I know.
And all that money raised obviously goes to BAM, which in turn goes to the Cancer Patient Services here. One of our, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit.
That's okay.
But one of the support services is the Pendleton Foundation. And we love them, and they support cancer patients that are having difficulty financially meeting their food, gas cards. So that's what they do. They take care of those basic needs, rent, things that people shouldn't have to worry about when they're going through cancer treatment.
Especially then.
So they're a fabulous organization. We're thrilled to partner with them. And then we are moving on to the next event, which is the Night of Miracles. And that is on March 5th. And that's up at Bighorn.
Yeah.
And that's a fun dance, dinner, auction.
Selby, did you know that it would become so successful and you would make so much money for something that means the world to you, to me, to all of us?
You know, no. And to be honest with you, I did not. We've raised over $5.5 million in 8 years, this being our 9th season. And I had no idea that it would grow and be this impactful. You know, when
Yeah.
you start something, you hope it's successful.
Of course.
And it's been.
But there are, I think that there are very, very few families who have not been touched one way or another, if not breast cancer, another cancer. And so I think that helps attention come your way. And you have a brand new one coming up, tennis, right?
Yes.
What's
And
that about?
Tony is she's on the executive board, and she is also the co-chair for a tennis event, and we're very excited. So-
We're very excited because this is the first time that the tennis community has a chance to contribute to BAM. And everybody's sort of been chomping at the bit, well, what can we do? How can we contribute? So we're putting together a tennis tournament on April 12th. And it's definitely going to be it's a charity mixer, so it takes a little pressure off in the sense it's not a formal tournament.
Yeah.
And it's a chance to play with the pros. So we'll go out and we'll hit some live ball drills. Then we'll go and we'll play a couple rounds. And then whoever makes it to the finals gets to play on Stadium 2, which is the second center court at the Tennis Garden. And there'll be a tour of some of the cool things that Larry Ellison's doing over there. And VIP treatment the whole way, and we're super, super excited about it.
Well, back in the day when Jennifer Capriati was playing, and her mother is one of my favorite people, and so we went out there and just had the time of our lives. And I think that stadium, I mean, now it's even bigger.
It's huge.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
building a third stadium, Larry Ellison. And everybody says that the
Way to go,
Tennis
Larry.
Garden and the event that they hold every year, the BNP, that is sort of the fifth major as tennis goes. So to be able to play on the same courts that the pros just played on is a big deal.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back with more.
Hi, I'm Gabi for our unique desert lifestyle. You just have to check out Gabi Fashions and Gabi Els Boutique. If you're looking for trendsetting fashions and a fresh, hip vibe, Gabi Els Boutique is what you are looking for. Our fun fashion experts can help you put together a look that will turn heads and get attention. If shopping therapy and a new look gives you that attitude adjustment, come shop Gabi Els Boutique and get noticed.
Welcome to J. Russell The Salon, a comprehensive beauty center with over 60 specialists here to help you with all your beauty needs.
We have been redefining beauty for over 30 years. Our state-of-the-art salon is designed to maximize your experience. Come and enjoy the feeling of beauty for yourself. You know the name,
You know the building.
you know the reputation.
We'd like to get to know you.
Yes, and I was mentioning about, we're talking about the tennis that BAM is going to start doing, and I was telling the ladies, I'll tell you very, very quickly, that Jennifer Capriati's mother, Denise, said to us at the U.S. Open, this is many, many, many years ago, Carson was doing Arthur Ashe Day, and so she said, let's go down and see Jen, and we go, and she says, Quinn, get your camera, because Quinn loved Andre Agassi, and Quinn said, no, that's okay. We go down, and we're talking to Jen, and here comes Andre, and he was so adorable, and Quinn was like, hi. So when we got back upstairs, Denise said, I told you, bring your camera, get your camera. Took us down again and took a picture of Quinn and Jennifer and with Andre in the middle, and it's one of her treasures. So back to your tennis tournament. Did you mention cocktails?
Yes, so we have a fantastic cocktail party going on. It's a Cocktails for Champions, and it's going to be held before the event, so it'll be on April 9th at a gorgeous home up at Bighorn.
Oh.
And it's one of these homes that has a panoramic view of the whole valley. It's special
Whoa.
to see the home in and of itself. And so we'll gather, we'll have some libations, there may be some specialty drinks there. And then the tournament, of course, is on the 12th, and that is open to anybody who would like to participate. So you don't have to be a great player, it's just wanting to come out and contribute and help, with the BAM cause. And men and women both. And you'll be playing according to your level. So it'll be men and women, could be on the same court. And again, a super great time.
But you know what? Isn't it great that somebody came up with the idea to bring the tennis group into the BAM world?
It is. Yeah, it's another channel. Because I think, as you mentioned earlier, everybody wants to contribute. We've all been touched by this and saddened and hurt, and have lost people. So it's a chance to say, hey, we want to do something about it. We don't want to kind of just feel bad. This is a way to feel good. You're doing something that you love. There's so many people who love tennis here. And at Bighorn, it's nice because we're also having a chance to have the tennis step up. People want to step up and say, hey, we're ready to contribute.
Absolutely.
And have a good time, simultaneously.
And you know what we sometimes don't mention is after somebody has completed treatment or made their decisions, and they still have to go back for checkups,
Yeah.
and you cannot help but be concerned about how that will come out.
Absolutely.
So
The
it's
results
an
of that.
ongoing thing.
It is, yeah.
And yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and one of the wonderful things too about the tennis group, they have said, what can we do? And finally, we got Tony and Lisa Reed, who is her co-chair, who are tennis players.
Yeah.
Where I'm not a tennis player, I'm a golfer. So it's so great, and we're so excited to have the tennis component. And also at the Night of Miracles, which is our auction, the tennis center over at the Indian Wells Tennis Gardens have donated some spectacular items.
Amazing items.
Isn't that
This is
great?
a night not to miss. The Night of Miracles, which is poolside at Bighorn. It's a lovely environment and amazing band, great food. So we're going to have things such as, if you win this auction item, you can play on center court, which is really only available to the best pros in the world to make it. Even, a lot of the tour pros don't get to play on that unless
Yeah.
they've made it and they're a bigwig. So it's like you get to be a bigwig. You're going to get to go through the professional lockers and get ready there and walk through the tunnel of champions onto the court.
Woo!
So, I just love how generous Larry Ellison and Raymond Moore have been to help. They are also committed to helping BAM be successful. So.
Yeah. Well, let's hear it for them.
Yes,
Yay, you guys.
Absolutely, that's great.
Really terrific.
Yeah.
Really, really terrific. But you have so many good things, and they're all coming up, and it's a great time of the year here. So,
Right.
and you've been so successful.
And in March, when it starts, we call it BAM Week now. We used to spread it out, but we found that it just seems to work better when, as far as the Night of Miracles and the golf tournament, just cram it all in 1 week, and
Yeah.
it's just, it's like a big giant party for all week. That same week, March 9th and 10th is our golf tournament. So we have 9th is the caddy auction.
Oh, yay.
And that's always big fun. That's huge fun. And the caddies are so great too. You know, they get auctioned off and they get to play. They get to hit one shot a hole. And they're such good sports about it because it can be a little nerve-wracking.
For sure.
Here they come strutting out with their pink shirts and
Yeah.
all, and the women are flying, you know, putting up their paddles. So it's really, really fun. And we raise almost $200,000 every year on that. And that goes specifically for our transportation for cancer and for chemotherapy and radiation patients.
Would you mind? I remember back when, and you told a story, and it was about someone that that you would see, and then one day you didn't. Can you just repeat? I thought that was amazing.
Yes, sure. And this is a very touching story for me. When I was going through my radiation, you go at the same time every day. And you get to know the people there. And some people are in there for prostate. Some people, you know, they're in there for
Right.
various kinds of cancers. Well, there was a gal in there that was in there for breast cancer as well. And she asked me what I was doing for the burns that were starting to appear. And I said that I used aloe vera. And she asked me how much that was. Was it expensive? Which told me her economic status and her what it was tough for her. So I said, I didn't know, but I'd find out for her. So I went to Trader Joe's, bought the big tub, and brought it to her the next day, but she wasn't there. So Denny, our technician, I said, "Where's Alice? Why isn't she here?" And he said, "She missed her bus." And I was floored. I couldn't believe that she had to take the bus, and she lived in Indio, to Eisenhower, because she had no support system. You know, I was fortunate. I got in my car and I drove to Eisenhower and I drove back.
Yep.
And I could do that. She didn't have the means for that. So that was when we got going, when BAM started the next year, I said, there's a need for this, which I had no idea there was a need.
Right.
And to date, we have given over 8,000 round-trip rides.
Yeah.
So,
Listen, just congratulations and keep doing what you're doing.
Well,
It's amazing.
she's
Selby
amazing.
and Tony, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I gotta go before I cry. Be right back.
Everybody comes here with a bright smile and positive attitude. You know, you can show up here and be in the worst of mood and leave with the most grateful heart.
If you're thinking about volunteering, I would definitely suggest coming down to Pegasus. It's definitely an experience that will last a lifetime.
All we ask for is a couple hours of your time, whatever you can give. We just need your help.
High above the valley floor, nestled against the mountains, lies Ironwood, a world of beautiful landscapes and vistas so close to nature, but only steps from the heart of Palm Desert. A community rich in history that for generations has honored family, Ironwood offers a sense of place that is always warm and welcoming. With 2 world-class golf courses, tennis, fitness, and spa facilities, Ironwood makes for a wonderful lifestyle experience. Isn't it time you discovered Ironwood?
Valley Views is back, and with me is someone so important to our family, Michael Masters at Ritzy Rover on El Paseo. And Michael, I don't have to tell you how important you are to all of us because of Cassie.
Thank you, Patty.
And before Cassie. But Cassie, my Shih Tzu, is 15 now. And so I was talking to Michael, and I said, I believe that animals can make us happier, but we may have a divorce here because Richie says, if something happens to Cassie, which I can't even explore at the moment, but that we're not having any more dogs. So what I wanted to talk to you about is how much we love our pets, cats, dogs, whatever they are. My granddaughter would love a horse. But first introduce who you brought.
This is Nani. Nani is a rescue.
Is she?
And much like Richie, after I lost the last one, I said never again. I never wanted to feel the depths of that pain. Well,
Yes, Nani.
Nani was at the Riverside County Pound. And she has just been an amazing little dog. It's just unbelievable how they heal wounds that you don't even know you have
Isn't
from
that
ones
the
that you
truth?
have lost.
Yeah. And so how does that work? You actually saw Nani and they let you have. Tell me how that works.
Okay, actually the way it works is Loving All Animals, I work with them quite a bit.
So great.
And so to go into these kill shelters, and they go into the back room where these poor little dogs are about to say goodbye, and they'll say, give me that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and they just give it to them. They bring them here to the desert. We get them spayed, neutered, immunized, and microchipped, and then they come into our salon, some of them, and we groom them, and that's our donation to get them a home. Well, everybody said to me when I lost the one before this, when you see that next one and you look in those eyes, you're going to know. And I thought, yeah, okay, I look in all their eyes and I know. But they were absolutely right.
Yeah.
When she came in to be groomed, she was going to an adoption fair the next day. That was over 2 years ago. She came in to be groomed. She stood up on this little gate by my desk and looked at me, and I looked in her eyes, and I just smiled really big and said, you're going home with me.
Love it.
And that was it.
I love it. I just love it. Well, when I come in there, when I bring Cassie, and I usually don't, Richie does, but I love seeing that the animals are so happy. They love coming there.
You know, some of them do, Patty, some of them don't, because grooming is not the most pleasant experience for dogs, but most of them just deal with it.
Yeah.
And so, but for the most part, we try to keep it, as you know, in my salon, it's very home-like in there.
Very.
And we try to play calm music and keep them calm. We have the area where they can play. The only time they're put in a cubby is if the owners don't want them with other dogs or they don't get along with other dogs. I don't have cages in my salon.
No.
And so that is a big deal because you don't want it to be any more arduous on them than it has to be.
For sure.
So you bring them in there, they get to play a little bit, they get a bath and a dry, which they're not nuts about, and then they come out, they get to play a little bit, and then they get groomed. So then it's not such a bad deal for them.
I mean, if you were giving advice to pet owners, what are the things that you would tell any pet owner, and then what are the things you would tell pet owners of older dogs?
One thing I would say for a newer dog, a puppy, as soon as you have the second series, and get them into a grooming salon as quickly as possible. And their first groom is the most critical of all their grooms because they're forming their opinion of what grooming is going to be like. So the first time a puppy comes in, we do it within the puppy's tolerance because we can force any dog to do anything we want them to do. But that's not the issue. The issue is if it's a puppy and you force this dog into this and it becomes a bad experience, every experience that little dog has for the rest of its life will be a bad experience.
Wow.
So we do it within their tolerance. We play with them, kiss on them, and make it a little bit more fun for them because puppies, life's a good place for them. It's just a fun place. They just want to play. Older dogs, be in tune with what you're dealing with. You know the dog. You've had it in, it's part of your family.
That's right.
You know, the irrational side of us tells us this is our children. The rational side of us knows that it's not. So you have to be in tune just like you would with your children. You know if your child comes out isn't feeling good, only they can verbalize a little better than a dog or a cat or an animal can. But you're in tune with the animal. You can see if it's sluggish, if it's not wanting to eat, if it's not acting the same. And there's so many things that could attribute to that in an older dog. Teeth, problems with their teeth. They're not able to eat. And that was the one thing with the one I had before her that I had to notice when they got older, they couldn't eat kibble anymore. So now you put a little bit of hot water, make a gravy, soften it up, and they tear it up. And it's just being in tune with an older dog.
Well, I have a very, very good friend who is like a sister, and she lost her husband, and she now has these 4 dogs, Sugar, Chewy, Amy, and Jojo, and she had never had a dog. And they are buddies, and I hope we have a picture that we can put up. So, so amazing. But I appreciate everything you've ever told me as we went along. It seemed to go along with Cassie's age. The one thing I did wrong in the very beginning, I didn't stick with the crate training. And so that was my own problem. And my next dog, Richie, I will go with the crate training. It'll be good.
Well, you know, Patty, that's one of the hardest things to do with a puppy, so don't beat yourself up over it.
Okay.
It is one of the hardest things to do because for the first couple of nights, they're going to scream like they're being murdered.
Yeah.
And you have to just keep all night long. You're up all night long, comforting them. You're okay.
They start to love it.
Exactly.
Michael Masters, Ritzy Rover on El Paseo, the best in the whole wide world. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty.
And thank you, sweetheart. You're so beautiful. And we will go now to someone else who is really beautiful in all the things he says and does for us on Valley Views, Father Howard Lincoln. Father Lincoln.
Sometimes I think that it's good to be alone, to be by ourselves, to meditate and really enjoy our own company. And frankly, there are times when I love to be alone, just to sit in the car and drive, maybe to spontaneously go somewhere. I think that I have a healthy sense of being alone, of sort of being my own Robinson Crusoe, at least for a while, on my own little island. But it is also important to remember that we are not alone, that we live in community, both here in the Coachella Valley and in the world. And all I need to remind myself of that is to turn on the TV and see very innocent people and children suffering so greatly, and to realize that my little world is only part of my reality, that I live in a very big world full of people far, far less fortunate than I am. So I remind myself, and I think we all have to be reminded, that when we pray, we are praying for all people, whoever and wherever they are. After all, we do not pray, "My Father, who art in heaven." Rather, we pray, "Our Father, who art in heaven." We never pray, "Give me this day my daily bread." We pray, "Give us this day our daily bread." And we may think that our neighbors, or even those we go to church with, are at times pretty much stinkers. But the truth is that we'll be with them in heaven, be with them for all of eternity. For the people of God, we're all one. There are no Robinson Crusoes.
Thank you, Father Lincoln. Father Howard Lincoln, Sacred Heart Church. We love you. Happy New Year. I'm going to say Happy New Year for the next 6 months. I want to thank all my guests today, and I want to thank you for joining us. Until we meet again, remember, yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery. Today's a gift, and that's why we call it the present. Live in the now moment. Enjoy our Valley Views, those you see and those you hear. Take good care and keep smiling. It's contagious. Peace, love, joy, faith, God bless, and see you soon.
It's how you make it, so make it the most on, right from the start. What's going on around me and you? There's a girl who can say the show. She knows a thing or two. It's Patty's Valley View.